Hello everyone, vickieverlie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. Today we're going to do a money, career, and finance reading. In addition to some tarot, we're going to do clarify actually with 3 tarot. But I'm going to pull a rune for starters. These are actually my grandmother's runes. I came across them recently. I have to wash the bag, but yeah, I used to use the runes quite a bit. I used to be pretty adept at it, but today we'll actually be reading the definitions from the Runic Workbook by Tony Willis. So this is very well worn. Looks like one of my dogs over the years got a hold of it at some point. Yeah, but I was gonna. This has some really concise, quick, definitions that we can look into, just as a reminder. And of course, as always, this will be a psychic reading. So if I get psychic downloads and impressions, those are always included. We're going to go sign by sign, money and finance for the upcoming, next month or so, or whenever you find it. Before we get started into the readings, I want to remind you that you're watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, and my name is vickieverlie. Now, I got more comments that people are being dropped by these. The YouTube algorithm goes through and does these sweeps, and they think that people are bots, which I've never ever used any kind of bot thing. But I have been steadily losing subscribers. So somebody just commented this last week about, they got unsubscribed and they didn't know they were unsubscribed. So if you're watching this and you have, just double check to make sure you are subscribed if you want to be. And if you're not, I invite you to subscribe anyway. I've been posting weekly readings here, and I do astrology for free on Patreon, and I have some other Patreon readings. I've been on YouTube. I'm the original tarot reader on YouTube, and I've been on YouTube doing tarot readings since 2013. And I've been doing professional readings for many decades, many decades. And as you saw, I have my grandmother's runes there. My grandmother was a psychic, so I come from a psychic family, and she read cards mainly. I forgot she had runes, or that I even had them. Again, this book, obviously, at some point I was really studying them and using them a lot, but it's been a long time. I think this book was published in the 80s, and that's probably around the time that I was using those runes a lot, was back in the 80s. But anyways, without further ado, and one more reminder, if you want to get I have various readings available on my website, vickieverlie.com. Don't be fooled by imposters. I won't message you on social media about any kind of readings or anything. You must go to my website. And I do have the special going for the 2026 year ahead reading, my most popular reading of the year, only available for a limited time. So check those all out if you're interested, and I have some other cool stuff on my website as well. All right, let's get rolling first with the sign of Aries. We're going to pull a rune, and then we're going to do some cards to clarify some tarot. Okay, what is the financial message for our Aries friends? Which is, oh boy, I wonder if these are, I might have to be kind of flipping through some pages. Maybe I believe this is an abundant rune, if I'm not mistaken. Now these are called the Elder Furthak. I do remember that much about the runes. Okay, here it is. It's called Rad. Yeah, it's rad, man. And it rules over, this one I like because it gives some astrology. Planetary rulership, Mercury and the North Node. Now neither of those are in your sign, but there could be some Mercury North Node aspects going on that could really bring this out. Like the rune Answer, this rune is under the dominion of Mercury, but here Mercurial influences is mixed in with the North Node. They're saying that rules all foreign and alien, unusual or expected. See, I think the North Node really talks about your true north and your true fate in life, okay? The early times, I thought there was like a short reading, short meaning in here. I guess maybe I was mistaken. Well, it gives you the planetary rulership. Aries, you guys always have to be patient with me, because I also have the book that it comes with, so maybe that'll be better. It's Journey. It's actually Journey. Well, Mercury, that makes sense, right? That it would be Journey. And we might have to use this book instead. That other one is not really cutting it. So it's on page 123. I've been seeing that 123 everywhere. That 123, that's a message for you, because that's something I've been seeing everywhere. I'm hearing ABC. It's Izzy is 123. A journey, communication, union, reunion. Yeah. Okay. It says, not intent on movement, be content to wait. While you wait, keep removing resistance. Yeah, so it's removing resistance. Removing. and as the obstructions give away, all remorse arising from trying to make it happen disappears. The journey is towards self-healing, self-change, and union. Yeah, I think that's enough to go on. All right, now let's do 3 tarot to clarify. So, I mean, maybe if you are having some financial issues, I mean, you could read this. This doesn't necessarily, I'm kind of gearing it towards financial, but if that resonates on another level in your life, you know, take that, you know, take whatever vibes for you. Okay. 3 cards for our Aries. There's 1. Oh gosh, they're just all flying out. I got 4 actually. So I have the 10 of Wands, working hard, Wheel of Fortune, High Priestess, and then I guess I'll give you another one down here. Well, maybe we'll do 4 for everybody, huh? Maybe that's, I think we will. If we can make it fit on here, I think we're going to do it like that. Yeah, why not? That's kind of a nice little, gives us 4 cards to go on. I like that. Okay, looks good. All right, so 10 of Wands says you've been working very hard, but the reward is coming. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here, so that's fate and destiny. Your luck is changing. Things are on the upswing. Things are on the upturn. 6 of Pentacles, that is a card of receiving financial aid, abundance, receiving monetary rewards. 6 of Pentacles is a card, to me, I know some people look at it as a charity card, but I've always thought of it because it so closely aligns with the 6 of Wands that it's a card of, you get it because you deserve it, you know? Like you earned it, you worked for it. And that's what that 10 of Wands also says to me. High Priestess over here. So this is you sitting on your throne, being in vibe with the Wheel of Fortune, being in vibe with the positive energy of rolling in with your fate. Like this, the book was saying with this rune, it was saying not to try to make it happen, you know, just allowing things to unfold. You've done the work. You still have to do the groundwork, you know, you still have to do the work necessary. But if you've done the work, a job well done, now things are going to really start to align for you. And 6 of Pentacles, there could be a payment. The 2 is also really standing out to me. So that could be 2 days, 2 months, you know, something like that. Another thing is 10 of Pentacles is, or 10 of Wands is a 10, and Wheel of Fortune is a 10 as well. So the number 10 could absolutely come into play for many Aries, okay? I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to move next onto the sign of Taurus. Okay, Taurus, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoy my content, please do hit the like and subscribe. I've gotten messages about subscribers being dropped, and we don't want that to happen. And I've been posting more readings lately, more of these little mini readings, actually. But first for Taurus, let's get our financial outlook for our Taurus friends for the upcoming time from Pierth or Pierto or something this is called, I believe. It's 12 and it says joy. Okay, but I believe it's called Pierth or something. Okay, we're gonna do a little book read, but we can also apply this intuitively too. Oh no, this says Wunjo. Yes, Wunjo. The rune is bearing fruit branch. The term travail is ending, and you have the term of travail is ending, and you have come to yourself to see yourself in some regard. The shift was due to the occurrence that now you can freely receive Wunjo's blessings. Yes. Okay, so this is about elevating your energy, being in joy, finding that place of joy, therefore connecting with different vibrations, and propelling yourself forward. I just want to get the planet. I like this book over here because it does have the planetary rulership, and although this is not an astrology reading, okay, it's with Venus and Saturn. Now, I know that we may be having there's a big Venus-Saturn aspect coming up here. And I know Saturn for sure is in water sign of Pisces. And I believe Venus will be in Scorpio. So it could be something like that could really bring something joyous to you. Now, I'm not going to limit that necessarily to money and finance, but that is how we're kind of trying to, you know, skew this reading. But if it resonates on a different level for you, definitely don't discount that, you know. Okay, this is for Taurus. We're going to do 4 cards because 4 flew out for the first one. So first we have the King of Cups, and then I want to cut. They were flying out all over the place, though. Okay, next we have Ace of Pentacles. Well, that's definitely helpful. And next we have the High Priestess again on the cut. Wow. And then finally, the Strength card. Okay. Well, you know, you are strong. If anybody, you're strong like bull, my guide said. Isn't that the truth? If anybody's strong in the zodiac, or, you know, it's a Leo card, and it can be Leo energy, but that strength, I mean, that is, you are strong. You are the strongest in the zodiacs, and the most determined, and the most strong-willed. The King of Cups and the High Priestess seem to be a team or collaborating. You may be on the outs with this person or not seeing eye to eye, my guides are saying, because he looks over here, and I feel like for most this is going to be your energy over here in the High Priestess. So this Strength card also is this soothing that savage beast through patience, love, and kindness. Not trying to push, not trying to force things to happen, but being in that settled state, bringing that calm energy, calm but also of joy. You know, this has a very strong vibe of connecting with nature, and the outside, the window out here, these, you know, these rolling hills and everything. This is really standing out to me in this reading. Ace of Pentacles does say that new opportunities for money are opening up. Now, what's standing out to me in this is this jewelry thing here. She's got these various bracelets on, if you can see that. This deck is kind of dark coloring, but I like it. Those bracelets and those things on the wrist are really standing out to me. Now, for some, it could be definitely, like I know many Tauruses, your Venus ruled, you know, and this Pierce is, or it's Windsor, I keep wanting to call it Pierce, is also Venus ruled. So there is, you know, you are creative. We all know Taurus is creative. But also, what I'm picking up, it felt like maybe somebody's going to be doing some kind of a jewelry thing. Something with jewelry, bracelets, making jewelry or bracelets or something like that. Another download that I got about it is somebody, this Ace of Pentacles, could be working in a hospital where you have you always are putting on those patient bracelets, you know, those things in the hospital that they put on you, or the different, you know, there's bunches of them sometimes. They're allergies, and then your patient number and your birthday, or different things. So somebody may be going into the medical field, and that may be part of your job or your duty, you know, putting those bracelets on the patients or something. They did show me, so I will say it's somebody else. It could be toe tags on, maybe working in a mortuary. It's only gonna, if it doesn't apply, don't get worried about it. But it feels it's job related. With Ace of Pentacles, it's job or money or vocation or something like that. So it could be like funeral homes, mortuaries, medical, or like creative jewelry and things like that, or making even like maybe friendship bracelets or something like that. But it looks like, you know, hanging in there, persevering. If there's been a falling out, I feel like we could reconnect. We could have a reconnection, especially with this joyous and Venus-ruled rune as the first thing out. Venus is also money, though. You got to realize that. Okay, where did I put these cards out? Let's keep these in order. Okay, now next I do want to clear out some of the energy. Next we're going to move on to the sign of Gemini. And we're going to start by getting a rune for you from my grandmother's runes from the 70s here. Some fuzz on here, and I'm trying to pull it off, and it's like, won't come off. Okay. Keeps coming back on. Okay, let me get a rune to start the reading for Gemini. This, I can't remember, ouch, the name of that one either. I don't know why I said ouch. Maybe it's the rune saying ouch to me, right? This is initiation, is the keyword page. Oh, here's where it is. There's the shortened versions. That's what I want to see. It's initiation. So it's like a new beginning, I guess. Let me find it over here. I knew there was one of them that gave just a few keywords, and then we could just go on the vibes for it. That's really more what I want to do with these runes. Initiations. A secret matter, rune of mystery. Ooh, wow, so there could be some mystery that needs to be solved. I want to get the planetary rulership. I need to write this down somewhere. Okay, here's what I wanted. This book does have some good stuff, the whole thing here. Thanks for bearing with me. I mean, I haven't used these in forever. Maybe I should have worked with them a little bit before I just dove into the reading with it. But I'm going to bookmark that. But I also want to get the planetary rulership on these. because I probably wasn't really incorporating that back in the 80s as much, but now I have much more knowledge of astrology. Here it is. It's ruled by Mars and the South Node. Okay. Well, the South Node is the past. You know, these almost look like the nodes a little bit if you have any familiarity with astrology. If you turn them sideways, it could, you know, this is Piroth. Okay, it's funny, I kept thinking that other one was called Piroth. And then here's this one. You know, what I will do later is I'll put in the planets on here if I ever decide to use it again. Okay. Alright, so let's see what this short explanation says. Legacies, investments, speculation, gambling, all psychological problems, the finding of lost things. Well, that does sound like the South Node, and there could be major ties to the past when we bring in the South Node energy. But let's get some 3 cards for our Gemini to clarify this and get a little more insight into it. Let's see here. 3 cards for financial, or 4, excuse me, 4. I had the intention to do 3, but then Aries 4 fell out, so I said, well, I guess we're doing 4. Okay, here we go. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. Building something. I just heard Building a Mystery, that Sarah McLachlan tune. I just watched that Lilith Fair documentary. I don't know if anybody saw that. It was pretty interesting. Are you kidding me with this High Priestess? What is up with the High Priestess? And I've been shuffling, and this is coming out on the cut. And then the Tower. Okay. Well, you know, with the South Node and the Tower, this is about really letting go of something from the past. Like something really heavy that's been... And if you don't let go of it, the universe is going to let go of it on your own. You're going to be okay, okay? Trust your intuition. Especially if you've got a feeling like something's going down. It's like, you know, this company just isn't going to... The way they're running things, this company's going to be bankrupt. You know, if you're working somewhere and you see the mismanagement and all the, you know, don't discard that, you know, because maybe look for something else, because you're going to be okay, because your education and your experience here. And he's picking, look at the harvest here, the 7 of Pentacles. You know, you have plenty of, in your orchard here, you've got plenty to your harvest, you're going to have a good harvest. I feel like there's a strong, and now this won't be true for everybody, so go ahead and watch Rising Moon and everything else, but there's a strong indication that my guides are saying belly up. Like this company is going to go belly up. But if you trust your intuition, if you kind of can see the writing on the wall, even if the owners aren't saying anything or don't see it themselves yet, because I feel like if you get out now, whoever, this is kind of specific, but I'm looking at, somebody should get out now, because then you can get your pension and your money or whatever you've got, your IRA or whatever. Because I feel like if it gets to this point, you might have problems getting that money out later on. You know, if they go bankrupt or they go belly up, my guides keep saying they go belly up. You know, you might have a problem getting, you know, and this is a time to drop dead weight too with this South Node activation, the way they're showing it. You're going to be fine with your skills and the things that you know, but also you don't want to, you know, them to get all your apples here or your oranges or whatever it is, you know. Trust your intuition. Don't ignore those little voices or those little hints or these little things that you're seeing, and it's just like, oh, that's not right. Because sometimes if it's like, oh, you know, something's not right, but you don't want to say anything because you don't want to, like, manifest it. But it's not that you're manifesting it. In this case, it looks like something is very much ending, but it's time for it to go anyway, and you're going to go on to prosper, you know, beyond this. So heed your intuitive warnings, your intuitive hunches. Don't just blow them off, okay? Hey, Gemini, if you want to get a reading from me, particularly the 2026, head over to my website. Thanks for watching. Hit the like and subscribe if you don't mind. Clear the energy, because next we're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. All right, Cancer, let's go ahead and pull one rune for our Cancers for the upcoming financial, but whatever wants to come through, honestly. Let's see here. Oh, this is definitely the abundance one. I remember this. This is the one of completion, abundance. Let's see here. Let me find it. And of course, now I can't find it. Sometimes they depict it differently. It's just a diamond without the little things on the end of it, without the little things sticking out of it. Why am I not seeing this? Is there 2 pages of this? Yes, there is. Okay. It's Diag, financial increase, good for change of attitude, do resolutions, evaluating one's outlook or position. But this is that big money coming. This is the completion. This reminds me of Wheel of Fortune a lot of times. So something is coming to completion, and there's a perfection in it. You know, you have Jupiter in your sign this year, Cancer. So any kind of financial things or any other things you want to do, you really got that good luck and blessing thing on your side. Okay. Let me do 4. I keep saying 3 because that was my intention initially. Let's see here. 3 of Pentacles again. I'm shuffling and cutting these cards, and some of the same ones keep coming. The World. So the World is also completion, can be. We've got 10 of Wands again. And then the 2 of Wands. Well, at least you didn't get High Priestess. That's just been out like crazy. Well, there's 2 things that are being offered. One thing is more going to be an opportunity to grow and learn and perfect your skills more. The other one is going to be more like hard work and toil. Okay. This one, there could be delayed gratification if you take this choice. It could be some kind of, like you may have to go through a training period or get certified or go in at an entry level, but then you can work your way up. This one, it's just like you're going to hit the ground running, but it's really going to be a lot of hard work. If I were you, I would take, you know, this, see the world. It's reaching to the world. See something that could be, you know, bigger in the long run. You know, going for that the world is the long haul. The world's not that immediate gratification. This 10 of Wands thing too, it tends, it's always too, like you can't, a lot of times you really can't, it's not sustainable. It could be back-breaking. It could also be for some, maybe you're completing the cycle of this back-breaking work and you're ready to go on to the next thing. But I do feel the way the 2 of Wands trying to make this decision, and even here, he holds it's Atlas, like he's got the world on his shoulders here. You know, and this guy has this stuff on his shoulders. So this feels like there's 2 paths, right? And this path is a lot more hard work, but this one is a lot more interesting. He's interested in what he's doing. You know, and when you're interested in the work that you're doing and you're excited about learning it, it makes it really easy. Then it makes it really easy and you can really jump into it and it makes it better for you in the long run. So this is the playing the long game. You know, that may be the way to go right now. But it's leading to something just wonderful with the world here. You know, this is just totally beautiful, wonderful, bigger, better, more than you ever had hoped for. You know, so it looks very favorable, but it looks like you may be starting down a new path that requires a learning curve. Okay? All right, Cancer, hey, if you want the 2026 reading or anything else, head over to my website. If you have time to hit that like and subscribe, that really helps me out, and I do appreciate it. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Leo. Okay, Leo, let's get your rune for Leo. We've got B, which is Bear Oath or something like that. That is called Bjork. Maybe Bjork. All domestic affairs, everything concerning spouses, children, family, and homes, birth, matters to do with children in general. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Now, this is a financial reading. It's trying to be, but if it ends up being about other things, then so be it. But also, there could be, you know, maybe somebody out there is going to get some kind of a child support, or maybe your child is going to get in that scholarship to that school or whatever. Or maybe you're going to get a job where you're working with children or something. You know, Leo, that's great work. I could see Leo's, you know, because you are the 5th house. That's children also. You know, so it could be a lot of different things. But let's see what the tarot has to say. We're going to pull 3 cards from the tarot for our financial reading here. 4. I keep saying 3, but it's 4. Okay, let's see. 4, Leo. First card we have is the Hermit, followed by the 10 of Cups. Well, look at that. Lovely. Isn't she lovely? Knight of Pentacles. That's the money guy. This one stayed. I almost feel like I want to take this one. It's the World, but okay, we will give you the one card that it was going to be. It was going to be Queen of Cups. Okay. Okay, it was going to be Queen of Cups, and then we'll put the World over here. Or maybe up there. Okay. So, you know, there's this thing about the children, and it's interesting. The Queen of Cups is very much about, and Ten of Cups. These are emotional things. So there's some kind of maybe, well, I'm going to pull the world off the side because it makes it looks funny. There we go. There's something that there's an emotional investment in, or it could require emotion. You know, you might have to be like a nurturer. Maybe you will be taking care of children or teaching children or something like that. That requires you to be, well, creative. My guide said creative and thinking on your feet. But also, you know, the Queen of Cups is definitely, you know, this nurturer, carer, heart. It's the hearts, you know, the cups are the hearts in the regular deck of cards. And the Ten of Cups is joy, happiness, and everything. Knight of Pentacles, this man, this person, whoever, is coming through with some news of money, he's holding that pentacle up. And it could be work from home too if you have kids and want to stay home. And then Ten of Cups, everybody's happy because you're at home. But the Ten of Cups is there, and that's that beautiful energy of, you know, we're a big happy family, we're celebrating, we're joyous, it's wonderful. You know, you may have been waiting, though. With the Hermit here, that often is a card of, we've been waiting, we've been waiting. You may be waiting to hear, and then the Knight of Pentacles, excuse me, comes in with the news about the money. So the Knight of Pentacles is usually the money person, but they could also be the earth sign person, the Taurus, the Capricorn, or Virgo. And the Queen of Cups also might be that water sign energy, the Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. But the Ten of Cups in the world, it could be everything you ever wanted and then some. You're shooting for, you're hoping for to be the Queen of Cups, but you're not only getting that, you're getting the Ten of Cups and the world. So it's even better, more. And anything having to do with your children and family, the Ten of Cups is a family card too. That could also be. For some, maybe it's your spouse or your partner. Maybe your spouse or your partner got this great gig and now you can stay home and take care of the kids like you wanted to. Or, you know, it's going to be different for everyone. Take what applies. Hey, Leo, check out my website if you want to get in here about readings or anything else. And I do have the 2026. If you hit that like and subscribe, it's highly appreciated. And on my channel, I have lots of other videos. Of the longer monthly one is much longer than these little short updates, if that interests you. All right, Virgo, let's get our runes for Virgo. This is from my grandmother's runes that I recently found. Let's see what we got here. This one reminds me of a fish. It reminds me of that, the Christian fish symbol. So that if that resonates with you, maybe that's some kind of confirmation for you, if you are into that whole thing. Is this? I want to make sure. Yeah, this is the one that I was thinking of before. Sometimes, oh boy, I'm not sure. I am not sure on that, so I'm going to have to break out the other book. I want to start working with these. Maybe I should have worked with them a little bit before I actually brought them into the reading here. It says separation, page 92. Let's see. I used to know them much more. I used to work with them a lot. Okay, separation, retreat, inheritance. Now is the time of separating paths. Old skins must be shed, outmoded relationships discarded. When this rune appears, a peeling away is called for. Included in the cycle of initiation, Olithia is a rune of radical severance. So some of you may be doing some kind of big change, you know, Olithia. Let me just make sure I have it over here. It says awful. See, even the words are the words are spelled and pronounced differently in the various things here. I'm going to make up a better thing, and I'll have it next time we do this if I use these runes again. You guys have to let me know if you do like the runes. I know it's a little clunky, but let's get our 4 tarot cards to complement the reading. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for Virgo, Sun, Rising, Moon, anybody with prominent. Virgo, Ace of Wands, that's a new beginning and money. 3 of Cups, happiness, celebration, or a new beginning of planting seeds, rather. 3 of Pentacles, doing that work you love and learning those skills, being engrossed and enthralled in your work. And then King of Swords, okay. Seeds planted during the time of Libra, I want to say, with King of Swords. So seeds that have been planted in the time of Libra which we've just, as I'm doing this reading, we've just exited Libra. So it would have been most of the month of October and even late September. You know, those are the time frames. So, you know, something that the seed was planted then, and now you're going to start to see there's going to be reason to celebrate here. This could also be, you know, some celebration coming up, a Halloween party. This could definitely be a Halloween party. So if you're invited to any Halloween parties, whether it's work and money related or not, I feel like you should definitely attend, because for some, you may meet this King of Swords here. This King of Swords is going to be somebody that you're going to be very happy that you're connected with, or that you have a connection with. Again, the Swords people could be air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. Three of Pentacles at the top, you're working on something. You know, you're working on something. You're, my God, swimming towards it. I want to apply this Pisces energy in there. And Pisces is your opposite sign, your sign of partnership. But this reminds me of how in the symbol of Pisces, there's one fish that swims upward and there's one fish that swims downward. And it feels like this is you swimming upward. Now, it is the rune of separation, but in order to have a new beginning, you must separate from the old. That's just how things go here, right? So there is some kind of a separation, but it feels very freeing. And it feels like now you can do the work that you really love and the work that brings you satisfaction and fulfillment. Yes, that's what I want to say. And also liking the people that you're working with too with that Three of Cups. That could be another thing. Okay, thanks Virgo for tuning in. Chat over to my channel for more readings and longer readings as well. Or if you want to get a personal reading, head over to my website because there's plenty of them there. The 2026 year ahead is the one that I'm, you know, is available for a limited time, and I'm kind of so special that I'm running. If you like this stuff, please do hit that like and subscribe. People are getting dropped, and if you think you're subscribed, please do check and double check because people are getting dropped. It's come up again. But whatever, it is what it is. Let's move on to the sign of Libra. I wanted to give the cards a little shuffle before we pull a rune from my grandmother's rune from the 70s here. That arrow, that's definitely reminding me of True North. Now, I am going to pull in a little bit of the traditional meanings. That's tear, victory through struggles, powers of recuperation, enthusiasm for all situations involving conflict and competition. So that is the traditional rune meaning. But to me, what it struck me as right away is following your true north. Following that true north, going towards what your soul is meant to be, partaking in this incarnation, following your highest aspiration, your highest joy and excitement. These are all wanting to come out all over the place here. So we'll take these two as the first cards. And, you know, we're going to see what it points to. I was going to say, and it's pointing to the Two of Wands. Okay. I'm just going to do it like this. Tower, and then one more, please, for Libra. Four Swords. So some of you have come out of a Tower moment. You may have come out of a Tower moment. You may have had some serious jolts to your... I mean, you were coming out of last year an eclipse season, right? So there's the Tower energy, but then the Four of Swords is here. And the Four of Swords is that time of recuperating, of getting stronger, of feeling better, of, you know, resting and recuperating and just feeling better. This Two of Wands, whatever heavy burden that he was carrying on his shoulders here, the Tower has removed it and taken it away. And now he's looking at a potential future with the Page of Wands. Now the Page of Wands could be a fire sign person, a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. Sagittarius comes through really strong because of this symbol, which is this Sagittarius symbol is that sideways arrow, the glyph. And also, I was almost going to say, or maybe as we roll into the time of fire, which would be Sagittarius. That would be our next fire sign time frame. So, but this is looking off into this distance, Page of Wands, something that you're fired up about, excited about. Could involve a younger person too. I'm just going to quick sip of water. Could involve a younger person. Could be somebody in your family, like your kid or grandkid or nephew or niece or whoever. But it just might be somebody who is doing something, you know, is an internet sensation, I want to say. That's a weird thing to say. or they just know technology really. I'm getting that they definitely are up on all the latest technology apps, everything like that. Maybe they're even an app creator. Maybe some of you are going to hire this app creator or something. But working with this younger person, but not in a way of like, there's no attitude here. Two of Wands is like having a good partnership and a good relationship. There's no like, oh, this punk isn't going to tell me what to do, this young kid. It's more of, oh, cool, I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you know how to, you're helping me. It's collaborative, my guides are saying. So collaborative and heading towards your true north. Maybe with the Sagittarius or in the time of Sagittarius. All right, Libra, for more in-depth reading, you can always head over to my channel where I have the longer monthly, or if you want to get a personal reading with me, I offer several, but right now the special that I'm running is for the 2026 year ahead. If you're interested in that, go to my website, vickieverlie.com. If you have a second to hit that like and subscribe, it really helps me. If you think you're subscribed, double check, because people are getting dropped apparently, so I appreciate you taking that second to do that. Have a great financial month or so. I guess. And next, let's get over to the sign of Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, for your finance, or otherwise. If it applies otherwise, we don't have to force it to fit into finances, right? Okay. And we've got one of the F's. One of the F's is good, and one of them's not, I think. This is answer. For all matters connected to education and communication, learning, scholarships, teachings, negotiations, debate, public speaking, public appearances, writing. There you go, Scorpio. To instill confidence in an exam situation, job interview, audition, driving test, or quiz or programs. So there you go. That looks pretty good for you, Scorps. What was I going to say? I totally lost it. But oh, the letter F. I'm going to read, I mean, it looks, we all know in English, it looks like a letter F. So I would, that could be a name for somebody. Frank is coming through actually really strong. So maybe somebody named Frank or any other F name. I'm not thinking of Fiona too always, but Frank came through really strong. So it might be a letter F for somebody out there. Okay, but let's get some tarot. Oh, one's just flying out. Well, there's a few. Let's see, we got 4. Do we have 4? We have 3. 1, 2, 3, and then this one is like hanging off the deck over here. We're going to take that for our 4th. Okay, so we have King of Wands, Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, and 9 of Swords. Okay. Well, Scorpio, sometimes you might feel like the whole world is against you. And maybe, I think what it is really, Scorpio, because I have Neptune, Venus, Scorpio, Scorpio rising. I think what it really is that you pick up on people's stuff, Especially this Queen of Wands. Boy, does she look like she's, well, maybe not when I go in closer, but from when I was sitting back a little way, she looked like she was just glaring at us, and I've experienced this, where somebody's just glaring at you and you feel it and you look over. And, Scorpios, you pick up on that. You pick up on people's true intent. But also, the 9 of Swords can be a card of over-worrying. Because not everybody's out to get you. Okay, Scorpio? And matter of fact, well, the Queen of Cups is you. I was going to say this Queen of Cups looks like one of your allies. But this could also be a representation of you. But I also do feel like the Queen of Cups could be an ally to you. Another water sign person. Another Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Whatever the case here is, see, here's what it is, I feel. For some of you, especially if you're a female or in this situation, the Queen and the King of Wands, she's jealous of her man, overly jealous of her man. There was a great meme going around, and it says, no, I'm not after your man. I don't even know why you're why you want your man. No, I don't want your man, and I don't even understand why you want your man. Just because you talk to somebody, and this is a financial reading too, just because you talk to somebody or, you have some kind of business with them and you need to talk to them, or even if it's a friend on social media and you like their post or whatever, it doesn't mean that you're trying to get with them or you're after them. And this person is shooting those daggers, so you're dealing with a jealous spouse, I think, for some people. So you're going to have, the way I'm seeing it is, you may have to kind of tiptoe around it, or how I always do is that kill them with kindness, you know. I just try to be really, really overly nice to them, just to let her know, look, I'm a friend. I'm not after your man. That was a joke, the other part of it, but, you know, I mean, even if, no matter what, I mean, I've never done that. I've never messed with anybody's people, you know. It's just like, there's plenty of fish in the sea, as they say. You know, and I don't compete against other women either. But see, here's the thing, the people who have this attitude, that are so jealous and worried, that's because they're competing against other women. You know, they have that thing going. I mean, come on, it's 2025, almost 2026, you know. Sisters are doing it for themselves for a long time now. You know, we don't need this man to validate us or whatever. But that is totally the vibe that I get for this. If it doesn't apply to you, check your rising and moon or whatever, you know. But it does feel like you have some business to do with this person, but there's a person, and this might not even be their spouse. Maybe this is their longtime, you know, assistant or somebody who thinks they're you know, their spouse, or acts like it, you know, in their work wife or something like that, you know. So just, you know, try to be tiptoe around them as much as can. Let them know, you know, be extra nice, let them know, because I feel like this person could actually be really important to you, you know, and you don't want to get into any confrontation, even if she's way out of line and it's way, you know, she's not even, you're not even thinking about her man or whatever's going on here, you know, or you're not trying to replace her. I think that's what it is. You're not competing against her, okay? But she's got her own insecurities. There's somebody that with those insecurities that this could be her too. She's up nights worrying about you, because you sure don't look like you're up nights worrying about it. Scorpio, you're not much to do that anyway, you know. But you see through these people, so you see through this jealousy. This is jealous. Is her face green? It's not, but I see that the face was even turning green. Maybe it's a little greenish. But it was turning green to show me it's white. But it's white, like, you know, chalk white. But it turned green just then in my mind's eye when I looked at it. Let that happen too when you're doing readings or you're looking at readings online, if you catch something like that. So she's green with envy, okay? So just try to, you know, be as nice as you possibly can. Make sure to pay more attention to her, to let her know that you're not after her man, and this is business, it's working. We have a working relationship, it's just business. Because I do feel like this guy can really, and I don't feel like she has need to be this way, is what I'm getting to either. I don't feel like this guy is like out, you know, on the prowl, you know, looking elsewhere. So whatever her stuff is her stuff. But I do feel like there is probably a male energy for most, a King of Wands. And he is the king, and he does have something. And it's interesting, wasn't publishing one of the things, because the King of Wands can also be the publisher, can be that energy. So it could have something to do with publishing or just advancing your career in some way. So just try to be nice to everybody and not ruffle any feathers if you can, even if it seems stupid. You know, why should I have to do this? Well, just because you want to reap the rewards of working with the king. Okay, so Scorps, thanks for tuning in. If this doesn't resonate, check your rising moon. Head over to my website. Well, head over to my channel, because I have a lot of other readings there too, and then Patreon. If you want a reading from me, a more personalized thing, look at my website. There's many available, but the main one that's happening now is the 2026 year ahead. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hitting that like and subscribe. It really helps me, and I appreciate it. Next, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Let's see what we got here. Does it go this way or that way? It's like greater than or less than. Well, it kind of wanted to come out that way, I think. No, that is reversed. This would be that way. It is like that. Protection of valuables, physical well-being, self-confidence, positivity, fresh start, stability, and relationship. Now, I haven't been doing reverse as much lately. Just like in the last reading there, Sag, you want to see Scorpios. I got the vibes off of that card. I don't have to turn them upright or reverse in order for it to be, you know, I don't want to be forced into making it read negative, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, here's what we got for you. Let's see. That Nine of Swords again came out, and let's just cut to Nine of Swords, Six of Wands, Eight of Pentacles, and finally Five of Cups. Well, Five of Cups is, it looks like you might be giving something a second shot here. And you could take this any way you want with that. Greater than, less than, however you want it. V, check mark, however you want it. Looks like a bird in flight, geese flying in formation. But let's dive in here. So there's worry and stress because of past situations. Five of Cups is looking at the past, and there was something bad that went down. I tried this before. It didn't work out for me. I already know. This is going to suck. This is no good. Blah, 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 blah. And Nine of Swords is getting all in your head and worrying about it. Worry, worry, worry. But this is a different thing. You've done some work. Eight of Pentacles, you've done some work. You've done some upgrading. This isn't going to be the same. Well, first of all, it's not going to be the same thing that you turned out the last time. But you're not the same person as you were last time. There's been upgrades all over. There's been upgrades to your work. You've learned and grow. You've learned a lot from any past failures or mistakes. And also, the work's gotten better, but you've gotten better. You're not the same person that you were before. Six of Wands is a card of big success. This is coming out of it being the hero, coming out of it getting the award, getting the grant, getting the money, getting the acknowledgement, getting the recognition. These are all things that come along with the Six of Wands, which is crowning the top of this reading. And I want to tie this into this. You've done the good work, so you will receive the rewards. And I want to tie these two in together as well as you're stressing out and worrying over things from the past. So that's where all that's going, okay? So don't stress out and worry. Just as long as you knew that you did the best you can, or you've done the good work. You know, the work is good. You're prepared. And then you're going to be fine. You're going to do well. All right, Sagittarius. Well, I have much. Head over to my channel because I do have much other readings available, longer ones for the whole month, and different things. If you could hit that like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. YouTube is doing this bot thing, and they're scrubbing the channels, and people who are actually subscribed are getting unsubscribed. So if you make sure that you are subscribed, even if you think you are. It's just this beast of the algorithm we all have to deal with. So, all right, let's move on. Next, we're going to move over to the sign of Capricorn. We're going to pull one rune from my grandma's runes for Capricorn. And this is the one we've got. Let me do my quick reference here. This is Sigil. Health, physical strength, clear thinking, self-confidence. Speaking of upright and reverse, this is one that has no reverse. Certain runes don't have reverse, and this is one. It looks the same either way. A little different, but it really doesn't have a reverse, I would say. It's a letter S too in modern day English language. So if it might be an S name for some of you. Sadie's coming through really strong, Sadie or Sandra, but it could be anybody. Steve. So keep that in mind. That might apply as well for some people. And then we're going to clarify with some tarot for this Capricorn financial wealth and abundance reading for our Capricorn friends. Let's see. So this Nine of Swords, this keeps coming out. Stressing. Ooh, Three of Swords also. Okay. And here we have Knight of Swords, and then finally we have Knight of Pentacles. That's a representation of you. Well, I want to say very similar to Sagittarius. You've gotten burned in the past with the Three of Swords. This is a financial reading, or supposed to be, but this looks like your heart is imprisoned. You're being held back or imprisoned in your heart energy, your heart chakra. So, that's something to maybe work on, opening your heart chakra. And Nine of Swords, staying awake at night, worrying, isn't going to be the thing. It's not going to be the helpful thing that you want to do. So here you are, Knight of Pentacles. So things are going to be on the upswing anyway. You are receiving that money. You are getting back on that horse again. That's what my guides are saying. If you fall off the horse, you got to get back on it. So you're going to be getting back on that horse again. You're going to be feeling more like yourself, more better, I'm hearing. But this Knight of Swords, this is an air sign energy, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or Libra. Maybe this is the S initial as well. Not for everybody, but I'm feeling strong for many people it might be the S initial. Also, this S initial is feeling like this may have been back in September, maybe the end of September, around Libra season. But it does feel like you guys make a good team, or this is somebody they're very exciting. They're very charged up, exciting, ready to, ready to do whatever, to face the world. They're very much excited and animated and ready, go-getter. They're a go-getter. And they're going to get you back excited again. For some, it might be like a friend. It might be a friend just giving you a pep talk kind of a thing. But for others, I think this could be a project or something that's going to spark your interest. It's going to spark your interest, and then you have something to work on. And Capricorns are always happy when they have something to work on. That's definitely a Capricorn thing. So things are turning about. Get back on that horse. Look out for that S name, or that lightning too. That reminds me of that bolt of lightning. You might get that great idea, that big bolt of lightning striking idea, okay? All right, Taps, if you want to get a reading from me, you can find that information on the website. I have other readings on my YouTube channel here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. And I am offering the year ahead reading, so check it out. If you'd like to hit that like and subscribe, definitely helps me out. Check to make sure you are subscribed if you feel like you are, because people are getting dumped. They're scrubbing the channel, and people are just getting unsubscribed when they didn't mean to. So if you do me that quick favor, it's always appreciated. Next, we're going to take a look at the sign of Aquarius. Okay, we're going to pull one rune for Aquarius. Start the reading. I believe this is a wealth one too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Haggle, yeah. In all situation where change is involved, to encourage lady luck to smile upon you. Yeah, so it's a lucky rune. Kind of like Jupiter. It's a very Jupiter-like rune, if you're familiar. I'm going to make a sheet for myself and put all those planetary things, and I'll have it here for reference then. Okay, let's see here for Aquarius. Financial reading for Aquarius. 1, 3, 4. We have 3 of Swords in that same spot. And I cut the cards. Knight of Pentacles. Shuffled and cut. 3 of Pentacles. Double 3s. Next, the Knight of Wands. Okay, so we've got these knights, Knight of Wands and Knight of Pentacles. Neither would really represent you. The Knight of Pentacles could be an earth sign person, a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. The Knight of Wands is fire sign energy, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Now, you've been through something too. You've had your down cycle here, your heart. Your heart was hurting. But now something, again, sparked your interest. This is very interesting. You want to learn more about it. You have something, you get up every morning and you're like, oh, I can't wait to start working on that project, or researching, or finding out more, or learning more, practicing more, getting into my practice of this new thing that's really sparked my interest. Hold on, I'm getting this stupid ass bug. Ew. Now I got bug guts on my new thing. Are you kidding me? Nasty. Well, I'll have to fix this. So now you've got this thing that sparked your interest and that you're really excited about. You're really passionate about. Because the Knight of Wands is very much a passionate energy, okay? And then this heart, it's getting your heart back into, my guides were saying, your heart just wasn't in it. So your heart just wasn't in it, but now something is there that your heart is in. It excites you. It's passionate. It's exciting. It's fresh, exciting. You're so exciting to me. I'm way out of key on that. It's some disco song, I think. But anyways, yeah. So something's going to spark your interest. Follow that spark of interest, because that's leading you down to being, earning more money. It will make you earn more money. This is a Pentacle card. But also, it's going to, just enliven your life, make you feel. It might even be what you're sparking on now and getting excited about now. It might be more around the solstice, because that's when we move from Sag to Capricorn, from fire to earth on the winter solstice, for the Northern Hemisphere anyway. All right, Aquarius, well, that's just a little mini update reading for your finances. If you want to, I have other readings on my Rock and Roll Prophetess website, or YouTube channel, I should say. So there's more readings, some are much longer than this. And if you want to get a personal reading and other things I offer, head over to my website, vickieverlie.com. If you hit that like and subscribe, it's always appreciated. And last but not least, let's take a look at Pisces. Alright, Pisces, rune for Pisces. This is, I think this is the one that's the yew tree, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? It says Eol, protection against evil through activities of other, promotes relationships founded on friendship rather than physical attraction. Helpful for all pursuits in which you are required to renounce one opportunity in order to take up another, especially in academia or artistic areas. So yeah, you have more than one thing coming at you here. It reminds me so much of a tree and growth, though, through the tree. Could be branches of your family, roots, things like that. But yeah, you may have more than one project, more than one iron in the fire. It also looks like a yod in astrology, doesn't it, too? Okay, let's take a look. One more cut. I almost did the 3 again. Here we go. We have Page of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, the World, and 5 of Wands. So there's something, there was a lot of competition. There was something you were involved in that there was a lot of competition. But you can't, because this is the competition, you've come out to be the winner. To the victor goes the spoils. That's what my guides are saying about it. To the victor goes the spoils. Now it's interesting too, because the interpretation for the rune said that there may be more than one opportunity. And I think that is the case. Now the Page of Pentacles is maybe more money now. Because he's got the money right here. I'll pay you today. He's got the money right now. So it's more money right now. But there is another opportunity that might be this was very similar to somebody else had a very similar reading. Because there's another opportunity that is bigger. It might be, and these bigger things, maybe it's going to take place, it's like, well, we're getting started in a month from now, or we're getting started next year, or, it's more drawn out and it's more involved, but it's a bigger reward. And my guides are saying with the 6 of Wands, like, you are honored to be counted among them, is what my guides are saying. So you're honored to be a part of it. You're honored to be asked to do it. And I feel like it's not only you're honored to be asked to do it, it is an honor to be asked to do it. Like, they don't just ask anybody to do this thing. For somebody, it's like, it is performance related. It might be hosting some kind of an event. It might be, doing a gig with a music gig, or even a traveling show of theater or something like that. Because they keep saying there's a lot of competition. So you could either take this money now, that's whatever it is, or maybe it's even advising you, like, not to get, until we find out what this is all about, who got the gig. Maybe don't, just do some other little side work here, Page of Pentacles. Maybe just do an Uber, or, whatever, or some kind of gig where you don't have to be committed long term, or take a temp job or something, until we find out who gets this big prize. Because for many Pisces, it's going to be you who gets the big prize, all right? And it's going to lead to other things. You're the best of the best, my guides are saying. So a lot of competition, but you are the best of the best. So you may have to take, or maybe this is even like a part-time gig to get through the rest of the year, it almost feels like. Back in the day, there would always, like, the retail stores would always be hiring extra help for holiday season or something like that, or a gift wrapper I'm picking up for somebody. This looks like wrapping ribbons to me. So, it might be a little thing, or teaching kids dance. If it is a theater thing for some of you, maybe you're going to take some little gig directing some kids play or something for free or cheap. But that's going to fill in the gap until this other thing really opens up for you, which it does feel like it's coming. something pretty big here for you. And you've got Saturn back in your sign, but that's not a bad thing. It could really hook you up with some long-term things. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to check out my regular channel. Remember, you are Love and Beauty Incarnate. Hit that subscribe. Always appreciate it. Till next time.